Peep peep, llamas and alpacas, this is Livy, and yeah, I'm finally back. There is a good reason why Thursday, Friday, and Monday there were no videos. And it was not planned, of course. As some of you may know, and especially if you're from the Pittsburgh area, which is my home city, there was an ice storm that knocked down a lot of trees. It knocked down electric poles, and it even broke some. And they said this was the worst ice storm since 81 years ago, I believe, which caused a whole bunch of houses, not every house, but a whole bunch of houses and even some buildings to lose power and not get it back for a very long time. And there are some people that unfortunately still do not have power right now, and some of them won't even get it back until Thanksgiving. Which it's like, ugh. Friends of my parents, they actually bought 2 turkeys and they had to throw them out. Both of them out because of this power outage. So yeah, it was freezing and there was no power, which means no computer. And my laptop is not good anymore, according to my computer engineer. She suggests me to buy a new one, and because the one that I got has very little storage, she told me, and I need one with a lot more storage. So I couldn't do anything with my laptop, and luckily YouTube gave me the community tab, and I explained that there wouldn't be a video because of a power outage. It's not just because I don't feel like it or anything, it's because of a power outage. First day just started off like any other day, but it was supposed to be a lot more special, or a lot more exciting to me, because I was going out and about and relaxing, and then I was gonna go back home to make a video. When I came home thinking I was gonna work on my video for Thursday night, we came home to no power. There was no power in the house. We were like, okay. Luckily, we still had cell phone service, even though it was not the greatest. We did not have Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi connected with the power, but cell phone service we did, so we can use data. We looked up websites of the power company and even called them asking when they think the power will be on. And that day they said they think the power's gonna be back on 11 o'clock that night. So we waited. 11 o'clock has passed. We're still in the dark. So we went to bed that night. We were bundled up in all these blankets as much as we could. I actually wore layers of pajamas because, especially me, I get cold very easily, so a freezing house with no power, that's like a living hell for me. And woke up in the morning, still no power, and then my mom told me that morning, your dad got us a hotel room, so we're gonna spend the night at the hotel, get a shower, and do stuff in town. So that's what we did. We got to the hotel room, we took a nice hot shower, we charged our phones, and then we went out and about for a while in town, thinking that the power is gonna be back on that night or in the morning or whatever. Found out that the power, they said, will not be back on till Sunday night at 11 o'clock. And it was Saturday, and we were like, okay. We got a different hotel room because the hotel room we were staying at, there was already someone scheduled to be there, so we couldn't use the same room. So we got another hotel room, which was actually the hotel across from my church, so that was a good coincidence. So as soon as we woke up and got ready, we just walked across the street to church. And we were thinking that night, okay. And then it was changed to 6 o'clock on Sunday. And we were like, okay, power's gonna be back on. Power's gonna be back on. We do not have a hotel room that night. So we came back home later that day, still no power, and we were hungry, so we went to a Sheetz, which this is not sponsored, by the way. We went to Sheetz to get a little bite to eat and, to charge our phones and just to hang around and kill time, and we were not the only people doing that. There was a lot of people that were hanging out at Sheetz. So we spent the night at our house thinking, okay, at 6, the power will be back. It was past 6, still no power. Then they said, okay, the power's gonna be back at 11. Past 11, still no power. So we did what we could do, which is bundled ourselves up again and went to sleep in the cold. Then the next morning, Monday morning, there was still no power. My mom again said, well, your dad has to be in the hospital anyway tomorrow morning, which is this morning actually, to get an operation and to get fitted for a sling. We stayed at that same hotel that was across from our church, but in a different room. And then later that evening, we finally got power back. But we couldn't ditch the hotel to stay home because one thing, the hotel does not have refunds and we already paid for it, so we had to stay the night at the hotel. And again, we had to be there anyway because my dad had to have an operation very early in the morning. And the damage that was caused by this power outage, for what I've seen, like I said, there were some electric poles that actually broke, and there was even an electric wire laying on the road. A lot of old trees that were broken, and I do not mean little trees, I mean huge trees that snapped in half, which takes a lot of strength to do, and that's how powerful this ice storm was. It actually snapped old trees in half, and there were a lot of roads closed because there would be electric companies fixing the poles and the wires. And as for us, what damage we only got a little damage, but unfortunately for some other people, they got a whole bunch of damage. Like some of it, the tree crushed their house, a tree crushed people's cars, and there's some that it just missed the house and crushed their porch or whatever. But for us, we just had a few lilac bushes that are broken, and we have some broken branches in the yard. There's a lot of spoiled food. When you open the refrigerator, it really smells, and we have to clean that out. And we had to calculate how much food got spoiled or what food is still okay. But the spoiled food, our insurance company is gonna cover the cost for spoiled food, which I didn't think insurance companies do that, but hey, money for food. So that's basically the only major damage we got. And also my computer, I did a few tinkering before I got to work, right? Because the computer was so cold. It's up and running right now. But what we basically did while we were gone is we just basically went to stores. We went to stores. I would have thought of better ideas like a movie or something, but we didn't want to go that far away because we didn't know what the roads would be like or if there was any road work or trees or wires or whatever. So we just basically stayed around our area. And even on Friday, our Walmart actually had to close, which our Walmart is open except for Christmas. It's open basically 24/7, but our Walmart had to close because there was no power. And when you look inside of the windows and doors at Walmart, it is just pitch black. It is absolutely pitch black. And when we came back to Walmart, the power was back on, but their food section was it was horrendous because there's also a lot of people doing last-minute Thanksgiving shopping, which we're actually one of those people that are doing last-minute Thanksgiving shopping. And they have carts, like, loaded with food for Thanksgiving. And the refrigerated stuff is pretty much white because they said we're not going to restock this. And some of it had to be thrown out because of the power outage. Pre-cooked food, all wiped. Their deli section, all wiped. Their bakery was okay, though. Their bakery was fine. But anything that mold, that rots, or like stuff that normally needs to be refrigerated had to be thrown out because of no power. So, and that was why there was no videos for Thursday, Friday, and Monday, because I had no power to make them. And it's been an interesting weekend. Oh man, like we're just basically jumping around all over the place, just trying to find like power and heat and everything like that, and food. Oh, let me tell you, I've not eaten that much for a long time. My stomach is still trying to digest some of it. It's just way too much food that we've been eating, like at restaurants and that. And yeah, and I decided to just do a little speed art while I'm talking because you guys seem to really like that, and I like doing that too. It's a lot of fun to do. And I did the cups with desserts again. I have Cuphead wearing a donut, like a swimming ring or whatever you want to call those, floaties. And I have Mugman reading the list sitting on a cupcake. I wanted a flashlight involved, but I forgot to draw it because I wanted to kind of make it relate to what I've been through over the weekend. So I just gave it a black background because I don't know where I could put the flashlight in there. I wish I would have thought about that as I drew that, but oh well. That's what I originally wanted to do. And I'll be doing these more often. I won't be doing these weekly, but I'll be doing these more often, that I would do a speed art and talk while I'm working on it. But tell me in the comment section below what you think about this drawing. Or if you're from the area and you lost power too, or if you had it back or whatever. Or if your town had a similar situation like that. I don't know. Like, I've heard, like, you know, some kids are saying they had no school because of a lot of snow and that, but this wasn't just snow, it was ice. And it knocked out everything. Oh man, what a mess. Leave a like, it is very well appreciated. Hop aboard the alpaca bandwagon and subscribe and hit the bell for notification and to join that pee party. But this was Livy, and this has been Lividex. I'll see you next time, my friends. See ya!